Now in problem 2, see here you need to find mesh current. Can we apply super mesh analysis to this? Is it a planar circuit? Yes, it is a planar circuit. Therefore, we can apply super mesh. Can we apply mesh analysis? We cannot, because we have what? A current source is there. So you can apply mesh analysis, but it is very difficult to find unknown parameter. So the alternative method is what? Super mesh. Okay. Now see here, how many loops we have here, or how many meshes we have here. So as per the circuit, you have what? 3 closed circuit, right? So here, this is what? One closed loop you have. Another one, this is another closed loop. And this is what? Another closed loop. So can I consider this is I1, I2 or I3? The current direction is what? Up to you. It may be clockwise direction or anti-clockwise direction. Suppose if you get minus 2 ampere something, for I1, that means what? Your assumed current direction is wrong. So the actual current is flowing exactly opposite to your assumed current direction. You already know this point, right? Now see here, can I apply KVL here? I cannot apply KVL because you have what? Current source. But see here, what current is flowing here? So I1 current. So I1 is equal to what? 10 ampere. Therefore, can I write I1 equal to 10? Just see, observe one more time here. So here, this is my current source. What current is flowing in this branch? 10 ampere current is flowing to this entire branch. I have considered what current is flowing in this loop? I1. Therefore, I1 equal to what? 10. Can I consider this is my equation 1? Of course, why not? This is my equation 1. Now see, if I apply, can I apply KVL in loop 2? Of course, because we don't have any current source here, then you can apply KVL in loop 2. So if I apply KVL in loop 2, what happened? As per current direction, this is my plus and minus, positive potential and negative potential. So as per I2, this is my positive potential and negative potential. If I apply KVL in loop 2, what happened? I will get second equation. Therefore, plus 2 minus 3. So how many currents are flowing at 3 ohm resistor? Two currents, I2 and I1. These are what? Opposite one to another. Therefore, I2 minus I1. So here when coming to the source, you should not change the potential. So already they have given plus and minus, minus 10. Now when you come to the 2 ohm resistor, minus, because as per I2, this is plus and minus 2. Okay, this is what? 2 ohm. Okay, how many currents are flowing at 2 ohm? Two currents, I2 and I3. Therefore, I2 minus I3. Why I2 minus I3? Because I have applied KVL in loop 2. So in this, you already know what? I1, right? What is I1? 10. Can I submit I1 here? Yes, minus 3 instead of I2. I1 means what? 10 minus 10. Just multiply this one inside, minus 2I2 plus 2I3 equal to 0. So here you need to write minus 3I2 plus 30 minus 10. Okay, and here minus 2I2 plus 2I3 equal to 0. You always need to write I1 terms, I2 terms and I3 and constant terms. So do you have any I1 terms? No, therefore 0 I1. So if no I1 terms, consider 0 I1. So do you have any I2 terms? Yes, minus 3 minus 2. So therefore minus 5 I2. Then do you have any I3 terms? Yes, you have 2I3. Then this is what? Plus 30 minus 10 plus 20, and if it goes to here minus 20. Yes or no? Minus 20. Therefore, can I take minus common here? Of course. If I take minus common, what happened? Minus 0 I1 and plus, okay, plus 5I2. Okay, this is plus 5I2 minus 2I3 equal to what? 20. This is our equation 1. Okay, 5I2 minus 2I3 equal to 20. Clear? Now, so you get equation 1 from loop mesh 1, and you get equation 2 from what? Mesh 2 or loop 2. Then apply KVL where? KVL in loop 3. So if I apply loop 3, what happened? As per current I3 direction, this is what? Plus and minus. Therefore, minus 2. So I can write I3 minus I2. Okay, clear. Now I should not change the potential for voltage source, minus to plus, therefore plus 10. Now here as per I3 current, I need to write plus to minus, therefore minus 1. How many currents are flowing at 1 ohm? Only one current, that is I3 equal to 0. Therefore minus 2I3 and plus 2I2 and plus 10 minus I3 equal to 0. Therefore here 2I2 and minus 2 minus 1 minus 3 I3. Okay, this is what? Minus 10. So do you have any I1 term? No, you don't have any I1 term. Therefore, I1 term is what? 0 I1 plus 2I2 and minus 3I3 equal to minus 10. This is my equation 2. Sorry, this is my equation 3. Now you have three equations. From these three equations, you can find I1, delta I1 by delta by Cramer's rule, and I2, delta I2 by delta, and I3, this is what? Delta I3 by delta. Now if you know delta, delta I1, delta I2, delta I3, and the determinant, you can find I1, I2, I3. So delta equal to what? I1, I2, I3 terms from equation 1. So what is the I1 coefficient? 1. Do you have any I2, I3? No. Therefore 0 and 0, you need. Yeah. Do you have any I1 term? Yes, we have I1 term 1. And do you have any I2 term, I3 term? No. So therefore 0 and 0. Then from equation 2, I1 term is what? 0, because you don't have. And I2 term is what? 5. And I3 term minus 2. And from equation 3, you don't have I1 term, therefore 0. And I2 coefficient is what? 2. I3 coefficient is 3. Now you need to find the determinant of this delta. Therefore 1. So if you are finding the determinant of delta, 1, don't consider this row and don't consider this column. And you need to write what? 5 into minus 3 minus 15. Now when you multiply from this one, you down to up, you will write minus 2 into minus 2 minus 4. Therefore minus minus will become plus 4. Therefore what you have here? Minus 11. The determinant of delta is what? Minus 11. Clear. Now you need to find delta I1, the determinant of delta I1. Instead of I1 terms, you need to write the constant values. What are the constant values here? From equation 1, 2, 3. Equation 1, the constant is what? 10. Equation 2, it is 20. From equation 3, it is minus 10. Therefore, the I2 terms and I3 terms are same as delta. Okay. Now here 0, 0, 5 minus 2, 2 minus 3. Now if you find the determinant of delta I1, 10 into, see here, don't consider this row, don't consider this column, 5 into minus 3, minus 15, minus 2 into minus 2, minus 4, minus minus will become what? Plus 4. So 10, this is what? Minus 11. So therefore minus 110. Therefore now you need to find the determinant of delta I2 equal to what? Now instead of I2 terms, you need to write the constant values. So what are the constant values from equation 1, 2, 3? The constant values are 10, 20, minus 10. Now the I1 terms and I3 terms are same as the delta. Okay, here I1 terms are what? In delta 1, 0, 0. And what are the I3 terms in delta? 0, minus 2, minus 3. Now you need to find the determinant of delta I2. Therefore 1 into, don't consider this row and don't consider this column, 20 into minus 3, minus 60. Okay, then if you multiply from up to down these two, so minus 10 and minus 2 is what? Plus 20. So here you will write minus minus will become plus, and here plus into minus minus. Therefore this is what? Minus 20. Now when you write here minus 10, you will get minus 10. So you already know, right? So this is plus and this is minus and this is plus. Now here minus, okay, this is plus, minus, and this is what? Plus. Okay, clear. Now minus 10, don't consider this row and don't consider this column. 0 into 3, 0, and 0 into 0, 0 into minus 2, 0. Therefore you will get 0. Therefore plus into 0, if you write anything here, you will get what? 0. Therefore the final answer is what? Minus 60 and minus 20, you will get what? Minus 80. So here the determinant of delta I2 is what? Minus I80. Now you need to find the determinant of delta I3. Now instead of I3 terms, you will write the constant values, but I1 and I2 terms are same as delta. So here 1, 0, 0, 5 and 0, 2. Now instead of I3 terms, you will write what? The constant values. What are the constant values? 10, 20, minus 10. Now you need to understand delta I1, delta I2, delta I3. So first, instead of I1, I have written constant. Delta I2, instead of I2, I have written constant. Delta I3, instead of I3 terms, I have written constant. And remaining everything is what? Same as delta. Now see here, we need to find the determinant of this delta I3. 1 into, so don't consider this row, don't consider this column. 5 into minus 10, minus 50, and minus 2 into 20, 40, clear. Now if you multiply 0 into anything, you will get 0. Therefore no need to spend your time here. Therefore plus 10, what? So don't consider this row and don't consider this column. 0 into 2, 0, and 0 into 5, 0. Okay, 0 into 10, it will become 0. Therefore, what is the determinant of delta I3? Minus 50, minus 40, minus 90. So minus 90 will be the determinant of delta I3. Now you need to find what? I1, delta I1 by delta. What is delta I1 here? Delta I1 is what? Minus 110. What is the delta here? Delta equal to minus 11. Therefore, you will get delta, sorry, I1 equal to what? 10, because 11 tens are what? 110. Okay. So this is what? 10 ampere. Now I2 equal to what? Delta I2 by delta. So what is delta I2 here? Minus 80 by delta means what? Minus 11. So this minus minus will get cancelled. Therefore, I2 equal to what? 7.27 ampere. So here I3 equal to what? Delta I3 by delta. So delta I3 means what? The determinant is what? Minus 90, and delta means what? Minus 11. Minus minus will get. Therefore I3 you will get 90 by 11. Therefore 8.18. So how to identify whether this loop current are correct or wrong? See here, I told you as per your assumption I1. Okay, I1. What is the I1 current here? 10 ampere. Therefore, I1 equal to 10. But however, you find I1, but you have find one more time by using the formula, actual procedure. I1 equal to delta I1 by delta. If you follow the procedure, what is your answer? 10 ampere. See here in the circuit, as per our assumption, I1 equal to 10, and as per calculation, I1 is also what? 10 ampere. Therefore, this is correct. Okay. So this is what the procedure for what? Mesh analysis. And by using this mesh analysis, you can find what? The mesh current. Once if you know the mesh current, it is very easy to find any unknown parameter in the circuit. Suppose what is the current at 1 ohm? See, as per your assumption, what current is flowing? I3 current. So what is the current at 1 ohm? I3. So what is the I3 current? As per our calculation, 8.18. Now if I want to find power, see, you know, P equal to VI. So can I find voltage? V equal to IR. So you know current 8.18, and what is the resistance? 1. Therefore voltage is what? 8.18 volt. So you know voltage and you know current. Once if you submit here, you will get power dissipated at what? 1 ohm resistor. Like that you can find any other unknown parameter in the given circuit once if you know the mesh current. Okay, thank you so much.